Good morning, hope you're having an amazing day. It's Mark Wiens, I'm in Chiang Mai, northern Thailand, and today we're gonna go on a Thai street food tour, eating at 3 of the street food stalls that are featured in the Michelin Guide of Chiang Mai. We're gonna have braised duck, which looks unbelievable, some kanam jin, which is rice noodles, and then Thai Chinese dinner to end this street food tour. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you all of the food from 3 street food stalls featured in the Michelin Guide. And so we've just arrived to the first restaurant, which is famous, which is known for their pet tun, which is braised, really soft, tender, braised, herbal, medicinal duck. You can just smell it as you walk in. Love the feel of this restaurant. It really is their home. And then just set up in their yard, there's a series of tents, there's a shelter. They display the ducks at the front, and then over at the front of here they have the whole glass cabinet, and you can just smell that broth, that master stock. We wrote down our order, got a duck noodle and a duck rice. And then you come up with you can write it on a little piece of paper, put it on the front here. That's typical, often Thai street food style. The soup immediately goes in on top of all the ingredients, on top of the duck, on top of the noodles. Then she sprinkles on a little bit of pepper. Looks like white pepper, very fine white pepper, and then immediately delivers to your table. It's hot, it's fresh. You can just smell that trail of medicinal spices, the star anise, the cinnamon in there. There's probably like a mix of 20 or so different spices that go into that master stock. And before we start eating, they have self-service vegetables that you can garnish your noodles with, your duck noodles. So let's go get them ourselves, self-service. Oh, mostly just cabbage, right? Mm-hmm. Just cabbage to go in the noodles? Mm-hmm. So self-service. Oh, bean sprouts as well. This looks like Napa cabbage. Plate of Napa cabbage. I don't get bean sprouts as well. All right. And I don't know if I mentioned it yet, but the restaurant is called Kway Teow Pet Sarapi, and I got the large-sized bowl. Comes with a bunch of noodles, slices of duck, a whole duck leg, and then some of the duck blood. And you can also see that garlic in the broth. They add a little bit of garlic oil. Wow. Well, that is masterful stock. You can taste the different soy sauce flavors in it. And then at the back of your throat, you just taste all of those Chinese braising spices, the star anise, the cinnamon, maybe the mace, almost a nutmeggy taste to it. It's just smooth and comforting and warming at the same time. I gotta take a bite of that drumstick before seasoning. I'm gonna order the feet. He's ordering another portion of the feet. The way that it's been braised, it's just absorbed all of that stock. It's juicy, it's so tender. But now it's time to season. Time for the chili oil. Oh, and just that aroma, the smoky chili. Oh yeah, this is gonna take things to the next level. And just that fragrance is just unbelievable. Yeah, a bit more for good measure. Then I will reach over here for a little bit of chili vinegar as well. A little bit more of the chili vinegar goes in. Okay, now that's the color I want to see when I eat noodles. Let that go into the broth, mix that around. Bean sprouts. Oh yeah. Oh wow, yes. The smoky spiciness. Coagulated duck blood. that is a broth of wonders. And the coagulated blood is just kind of like, it almost has the same feel as a really soft tofu. It just kind of melts in your mouth and kind of like, it's jelly, blood jelly. The Napa cabbage, a little bit of Napa cabbage on there. A little bit of bean sprouts. And then you can keep on adding vegetables as you keep on eating. I love to just mix it around and get them soaked in the broth and the spice and then keep on eating. A step above in the spices and the care and the texture of that duck. Okay, I'm gonna move over to the rice. And for this, he used some of the, maybe the duck breast, slice that up over the rice and then they drizzle sauce on it with sesame seeds on top. Oh wow. I love the coriander and the sesame seeds on top too to contrast that sweet flavor of the duck. But then usually for kanapet, which is rice and duck, you use this sauce, the dark soy sauce. It's mostly dark soy sauce and chilies, but are not that spicy. That's good too. More of a sourness, more of a little bit of a sweetness coming from the dark soy sauce as well. Oh yeah, really light. You really taste the radish boiled in there. That makes a great broth, a great stock. And then as we were digging in, Ying ordered one more dish, which is a combination of blood, the feet, duck feet, and the duck wings. So this is just a bowl of like bones, extremely flavorful bones to just gnaw on and get all of that flavor. But you can see how long it's been braised and how that skin has just dissolved into the soup broth, and that's what makes it so flavorful. And she said specifically this is the sauce that's used for the duck pieces. Oh, that smells incredible. Oh, the ginger in there. The ginger, it looks like coriander roots as well. And maybe fermented bean? Fermented soybean? Yeah, it smells like perhaps fermented bean sauce as well. Oh, that sauce smells amazing. Should we go for a wing? This looks like the type of sauce I just want to apply as much as possible into every single bite, maximize your sauce per bite. Oh, wow. Yeah, that sauce is amazing. The ginger, the umami of the fermented bean, perhaps the coriander root in there, and then it kind of has a sweet and sour taste, and then the meat on the wings is just like fall apart tender. It's so flavorful. And it's so easy to lick the bones clean. The meat just slides off. Their chili oil here is just bumping with flavor. Add a little bit. I really want to get the full flavor of that chili oil on this bite. Oh, there we go. This chili oil is masterful. That was impressively delicious, and it for sure is one of the better bowls of a braised duck that I've had in a long time in Thailand. They really do have an edge, a step, a flavor notch above many others that I've tried. From here, we're driving back into the center of Chiang Mai, about a 30-minute drive or so, and we're going to the next place, which is in the market. Okay, and yeah, as we're leaving now, which is, it's still only 10:30 as we're leaving, they're starting to really get full though. People are coming in, people are parking on the side of the road. Guaranteed they have a lot of regulars. They have a lot of regulars from this area and probably a lot of people from Chiang Mai that make the journey out here just for the duck. And yes, it is worth it. Here we are. That actually just took, that was about a 15-minute drive only. We're gonna walk into the market for this next place. It's to a market that should be called Talat Sampakoi. I think it's that one across the street. in the market. สวัสดีครับขอบคุณครับ Get a spray.
แม่นค่ะแม่น
Yeah, this is ตลาดซัมปาคอย Okay, spray the fingers with alcohol. Welcome to the market. Never been to this market in Chiang Mai, but it's a big market. Looks like there's a lot of food court section, pre-cooked food made to order. Not just, although they do also have fresh ingredients, lots of fresh ingredients as you can see walking around as well, but lots of restaurants, lots of smoothie stalls, juice stalls, little bakeries, little places. And we are gonna have to walk around for a little while to try to find this place. Funny story, we walked all the way, we made a full circle around the market. I couldn't find the stall, and I look at the map, and it actually looks like it's at that market that we got out of. We parked the car right next to this other market, which is right across the street. I think it might be back at that market, but that market looked completely quiet. I think it's back over there. This market is called Talat Tong Kam, but the stall that we're going to is called Khanam Jin Sampakoi, which is that other market. So that's a little bit of a confusion, but I don't know the story. Maybe there's probably a story behind that. We are in the right spot now. I can almost smell the curry. This is the spot called Khanam Jin Sampakoi. You can already smell, they're just setting up right now, they're just opening, you can smell the herbs, you can smell the grachai, the finger root in that curry that he's just dishing out right now. They have 5 or so different menu options, but one of the main one is the Khanam Jin Nam Niao, which is a northern Thai favorite stew of pork and especially tomato-y broth. But I think I'll probably order maybe 2 or 3 different versions to try.
ก็ขนมจีนน้ำเหนียวแล้วก็ขนมจีน
แกงเผ็ด
เขียวหวานแล้วก็เผ็ดเหนือครับ
ไม่หรอหมวยต้นหอมมีก่อนมีมาแล้วหมวยใส่ต้นหอมให้หน่อยยังไม่เด็ดยาว
ขอบคุณครับขอบคุณครับ
นั่นไงของครัวหรือว่าเอาน้ำซอสเดี๋ยวรอก่อน
And then immediately 3 different types of curries onto the noodles, straight to the table. That took about 10 seconds to order and get my food. And we are here also at the perfect time, right before the lunch rush. But you can already tell there's some delivery drivers just waiting for their orders. Well, look at the size of those curries too. And even, yeah, look at, yeah. Okay, now we know why the market is so quiet right now, because they occupy the seats of the entire market. Look how many tables there are. They have the green tablecloths all the way down to the other side of the market. But I mean, just look at the size of that pan of the nam niao, which is one of their main dishes, the northern tomato stew. It's huge. It smells incredible. I gotta begin with the nam niao. This is one of the dishes of northern Thailand, one of the dishes you cannot miss in northern Thailand, and it's really a comfort dish for the people of northern Thailand. It's tomato based, usually pork, and there's pork bones in here, and then another spice, another herb, and it's actually a flour that is mandatory for nam niao, is called dak niu, which is the flour, it's the cotton tree or bombax. Oh wow, that is fantastic. Oh, that's like rich, it's porky, kind of earthy tasting. You know what really comes through for me is I think it's the tua nao, the fermented soybean. The tartness of the tomatoes, that's outstanding. And the toasted garlic. And really quickly, just one more bite before we taste test the others. I want to taste them all while they're hot, but one more bite with a little bit of that pork bone. That broth, that soup is just ultra flavor. Okay, next up for the kyeowan. This is the green curry with chicken. It's very aromatic. You really smell the basil. The sweet basil really comes through, and there's eggplant in there too. That's excellent too. Sweet, you can taste the rich coconut cream. You can taste a little bit of cumin, jira in there. And then just I like the eggplant actually, just soaks it up. It's so tender. And what's really nice is you really taste the flavor of the sweet basil in there very vibrantly. I want a whole bowl of the eggplant. Third bowl is the gang pet nua, so it's a beef curry. Should be spicy. You can see all the tenderness of that beef. You can see the basil in there again. And there's more eggplant as well. Again, very fragrant. You can smell the herbs. Oh wow. It tastes like brisket. The beef just melts in your mouth. It's so tender. This one has amazing balance of flavor though. You taste the dry spice mixture, definitely cumin and coriander seed in there. Then that's paired with a sweet coconut milk, so you have that balance of sweet and spicious. So when you take a bite, and you take a bite of the noodles, it just kind of, the curry and the flavor just gushes out of the noodles. That beef is amazing. Okay, back to the nam niao. Yeah, the noodles themselves are really good, right? Like, even though they've been sitting in the curry, sometimes they'll get really boom, they'll get inflated, they'll get soggy. These noodles, they've been sitting in the curry for a while and they still remain nice and fluffy and airy and individual. Wow, that was so good, and it went down so easily and so fast. If you hadn't already eaten a giant bowl of duck noodles, braised duck noodles, I'm sure you could eat 5 of these bowls in a row and be very happy. But outstanding flavor. For me, the highlight was the nam niao. That stood out the most. I love that earthy, floral, tomatoey tartness, the umami of the tomatoes, and also the fermented soybean in there. Delicious. What a spot. Now I know why the market was so quiet when we got here. They are the market. What a special restaurant. And it is a full-blown production of a curry. It's like a curry assembly line within the market. They're friendly. It's such a cool spot. The plate that I had, the nam niao, is just 20 baht per plate. It's affordable, it's flavorful, the market atmosphere, eating in the market. I loved it. So that's 2 for 2, 2 outstanding street food stalls, spots. And one more thing, remember to come to this market, not the Sampakoi market, which is across the street. This is the market you're looking for. From here, we're gonna take a little break this afternoon on this Michelin Guide street food tour of Chiang Mai. And then there's one more restaurant, which is a dinner restaurant that opens later in the afternoon at about 4 p.m. So we'll go there late this afternoon for the final meal. But for now, it's time to take a little nap. Had a little break this afternoon and a heavy rain in Chiang Mai this afternoon, and now it's just kind of drizzling, it's just kind of wet, but we're at the final restaurant just here again, just as they open. They open in the late afternoon at 4 p.m. It's about 4:30 now. This restaurant is called Khao Tom Yong, and it is a Khao Tom restaurant, which is boiled rice, very Thai Chinese. And then you get all sorts. They have a huge selection of different stir-fry dishes, fried dishes, meats and vegetables, huge menu of different dishes. So this is really family-style eating, and we're gonna have a big meal to end this tour. But this restaurant was also featured in the Michelin Guide. I think normally they do have some tables probably outside as well, but due to the rain, no tables outside today. This is the type of place, the very family restaurant, where you order a bunch of different dishes and then share all together.
ซุปเปอร์ปลากระพงค่ะหอยลายผัดพริกเผายำมะระหวานไหมปลากระพงถ้วยหนึ่ง
They have all the different Chinese stews and herbal mixtures going on here as well. So often how it works at Khao Tom restaurants in Thailand is that they have a bunch of ingredients at the front of the restaurant that they have on display. That can be vegetables, that can be different meats, fried fish. And then when you make your order, then they kind of take out the portions for that dish, They mix up, if you order a salad, they mix up the salad right on spot. If you order one of the stews, they just dish it out on spot. But then if you order like a stir-fried dish, oftentimes they'll get the ingredients from the case right here. They'll grab the ingredients, put it on a plate, send it back to the kitchen where they'll stir-fry it in a cloud of fire and smoke and then deliver it to your table. Joel is joining us for dinner tonight on the final leg of this tour, the final meal of this tour. Food comes out just fast and furious, but depending on how busy they are. But of course, like the food, every single dish takes about 30 seconds to prepare. One of their specialties is the clams with roasted chili jam and basil. You can immediately smell that whoosh of basil as you set it down. Oh man, it looks good.
I'm hungry. That's awesome.
I'm going straight for those clams first. Cheers on the first bite.
Yes, thanks man. Cheers.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's a sauce you're just gonna lick the entire shell. Oh, it's salty. It's so fragrant from the chili jam. Not too sweet. And so fragrant from the basil and chili. It's not really spicy, but just, it's so, the roasted chili almost has more of a tomatoey flavor to it. And I'm gonna follow that with a bite of my kathom. And you can do it both ways. You can take a bite of the dish and then take a separate bite of the rice, or you can put a little bit of the food into your rice and then eat it from there. Okay, I'm gonna move in for the eggplant next. This looks incredibly good. It's so fresh. The eggplant is sliced, fried. There's basil in here again. There's minced pork, and then there's some of the fermented soybean in there as well. Oh, wow. This is a dish that I always order. Oh, that's tasty. I love eggplant. And I love how it just acts as a sponge to absorb flavor. The taste of the fermented bean. I think I will add a little bit of this to the rice because it's so tasty. And that's the perfect balance. Okay, next up for the yam blasalit. Blasalit is gourami fish, which is dried, and then for this one they deep fry it. And then make it into a salad with lime juice, with chili, with peanuts, with onions on top. This is always a standard, always something I look forward to ordering and eating.
I'm going on the spoon so I can put a chili on it.
I love it every time. Because of the dried fish, it gives it the aged flavor.
Yeah, the crunch is beautiful. And the crunch of the onion stuff combined. That's amazing. I have never had that dish before.
No?
I don't think so. Yeah.
Next dish is gui chai kao pad tofu. So there's tofu in here, and these are white chives. I'm just going right onto the rice for this. And I think the tofu is fried too, so it has a little bit of a skin on it. Which is great. What's great about the white chives is their texture. The texture is very, very crisp and chewy, and that's just stir-fried maybe with a little bit of oyster sauce and maybe some garlic in there. But very light, but salty to go with the rice. And then for vegetable, we got padyok mara, which are stir-fried chayote leaves. I love that crunch, I love that freshness. I love how the stems have a different texture from the leaves. We get a bit of everything in one bite. I'm gonna try this sauce. I think it's a Thai seafood sauce. Salty and sour and garlicky. Okay, one more dish we have to try, which is the soup, the tom yum. This is the type of tom yum I love, just that clear broth, clear style, herbs, dry chili, and just thin slices of fish, but this looks clean and herbal. Yeah. I knew I was gonna like it just from the color, just from the herbs in there. Could do with a little bit more dried chili, but it is a really good balance. The sawtooth coriander the sweet basil, and then just thin slices of fish. That is extraordinary. Yeah. That is one of the better places I've had in a long time. Just nothing more or less than it needs to be. This is just really classic Thai Chinese food, Katong restaurant, just but really done really well. Very family-oriented food. They've really done an excellent job. Just the taste is just like, it's just pleasing is what it is. It's just pleasing, it's just
Comforting.
yeah, it's great.
If we lived on this street, you could guarantee this is the kind of place that it's the default. Like if you don't have any other idea, you're coming here every time. It's that good.
Step outside, the rain has just about stopped, and that was just another meal that put a smile on my face. That's 3 for 3 today. Just a fantastic day of food. So I'm glad that all 3 restaurants were featured in the Michelin Guide, and they are extremely well deserved. And thank you for the recommendation from the Michelin Guide. I'll have all the information, the places in the description box below that you can check out. And I want to say a big thank you for watching this video. Please remember to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're not already subscribed, you can click subscribe and also click the little bell icon so you'll immediately get notified of the next video that I publish. Good evening from Chiang Mai, Thailand, and I will see you on the next video.